Hi guys, so today we are going to take the kids out to do a couple things, and we are currently about 30 minutes from where we are staying in Boston, and we are at Minuteman National Historic Park. Didn't really pre-plan this. I looked it up this morning. We actually want to go see Louisa May Alcott's house, which is the writer of Little Women. And our appointment for that is at 11:45, and it is 9:30 now, so we thought that we could just see what there was around here for a little bit. And yeah, if you have not been here before, hi, I'm Mama Bear Nemeni. I am mom to 15 children. One of those babies is in the NICU, one of those is married, one passed away, and today we have 3, 4, 5. I have 5 of my children with me, and we are at Minuteman National Historical Park. 6, sorry. So Minuteman National Historic Park was the starting place of the American Revolution. Here, the resolve of citizens willing to risk their lives for the ideals of liberty and self-determination was instrumental in the formation of the American identity. The park preserves sites where colonial militiamen and British soldiers clashed on April 19, 1775. A force of 700 British soldiers left Boston to siege military supplies stockpiled and conquered. Alarm raiders alerted the countryside. In area towns, militia companies assembled, ready to defend their communities and their liberties if necessary. After brief battles at Lexington Green at 5 a.m., the Concord's North Bridge at 9:30, fighting escalated along the Battle Road. As the British troops marched towards Boston, militia companies poured in. By afternoon, nearly 400 colonists unleashed the incessant fire upon British soldiers. At the end of the day, the colonists surrounded and laid siege to Boston, and the Revolutionary War began. So this is pictures of the battle here. And then up here, this is where we are. Let's see. So the Orchard House is at the end here, and that's where we're going. That's Louisa May Alcott. So we could actually just start along here and then kind of stop at some of the spaces. So we're at Fisk Hill right now, so let's go over. It's across the street. We're gonna cross the street. This is where they had a battle that started the American Revolution. Yeah, so we're gonna go across here and read the signs over there, all about the battle. You could zip your jacket. They used to make walls like this in the olden days, like fences almost. At his well, April 19th, 1775. I cannot read that. James Hayward of Acton. Raising.
God said, "You are a dead man, and so are you," replied Hayward. Both fired. The soldier was instantly killed, and Hayward mortally wounded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Archery.
Let's go over here. Zip you up, ma'am. Okay. So this is the site of where the Fisk house was, and the garden would have been out back, and then a barn, 4th acre stockyard, cow yard, corn shed. And this is the Fisk house here. So you can see the foundation over here. I believe that's what it is. We can go over there. Yeah, the house is right there. That would be the basement. Yeah, see? Ebenezer Fisk House. Minuteman Historical Park was the starting of the revolution. This is the one that we just read over there, but this is actually at the other spot. So they started at Miriam's Corner at 11:30 p.m. Lincoln 1, Lexington 2:30, Mattomie at 4:30, Cambridge 5:30, and Charlestown at 7. So this would be, I believe, Bunker Hill, right? So that's that. We are now at the visitor center. Let's see where the visitor center is on here. You guys are probably seeing it and I'm not. Anyway, I think we're gonna try to find Paul Revere capture site after this and Captain Smith house. I wonder if that is in here. Let me go over here for a minute. This says that it's in 700 feet, but it's closed for winter. Minuteman Visitor Center from November 1st to March 1st. And now, should we walk down there and see? Let's see. I'm trying to see. Oh no, you can't even go on the trail. Wonder if you can see from here where things are. Maybe not. If we're here in the spring, then maybe we'll come back there. Yeah, you could kind of see it from the road. I wonder if I should pull over at the road. You don't know unless you try. It said it was opening at 10. So I was like, okay, we'll try to be here around 10. It's like 10 minutes to 10. Anyway, we are going to go and see what other like outdoor sites that we can see along here. So come along. So we're coming down here. This is Paul Revere's capture site that we are going to now, and then I think we're going to try to stop at I think Captain Smith's house. We shall see. I don't know. The kids are eating a snack. I don't know who wants to come out or not. I give it as an option. So we will see. I think they wanted me to kind of spy to see what exactly was over here. Nice trails along here. Along the stretch of Battle Road, the famous midnight ride of Paul Revere came to an end. While passing through Lexington around midnight, Paul Revere and William Dowes met Dr. Samuel Prescott of Concord, who was riding home after courting Lydia Mulkin. Prescott agreed to help spread the alarm that the regulars were out. 3 men ran into patrol of 10 mounted British officers posted near here to prevent word that British march from reaching Concord. Revere was captured. Dowes escaped back towards Lexington. Prescott jumped his horse over the stone wall and excluded the British soldiers. I saw 4 of them who rode up to me with their pistols in their hand and said, yeah, I'm not going to say that either. If you go an inch further, you're a dead man. Immediately, Mr. Prescott came up and we attempted to get through them. And they kept before us and swore if we did not turn into that pasture, they would blow our brains out. Mr. Prescott said to me, "Put on." He took to the left. I ran to the woods toward a wood. Just as I reached out, started 6 officers seized my bridle, put their pistols on my breast, and ordered me to dismount. That's what Paul Revere had said. All about the Midnight Riders. Come here and turn back. It's getting chilly out. Dow's Revere, Prescott, 1:30 a.m., April 19th, 1775. So I pulled over the side of the road. I believe this is Captain William Smith's house here. Okay, let's see. Where is this? We don't know. We're just kind of driving down this road to see what's what. So let's see where we are now. This is Hartwell Tavern. So let's see on... Okay, here it is, Hartwell Tavern here. So we just went to Paul Revere's captain's capture site. I took a picture of, or my daughter took a picture of Captain William Smith's house. You couldn't actually get to it. It was like blockaded off, but we took a picture of that. And then now we're at Hallward Tavern. We are making our way. All right, let's go see. The bathrooms are closed. It's cold. I thought I was walking up to the tavern, but it's actually like bathrooms that are actually closed. So we're just gonna walk along this edge here to see if we can see like either the tavern or the tavern site without going super far. Okay, we're gonna walk down here. My daughter said she saw a brown building, but I was like, that's an odd look for an old-fashioned tavern. Yeah, because it's restrooms that are closed. Anyhow, doing our adventures. That's life, right? So it actually is really beautiful. I could picture like being here in the summertime, but you know, you have to seize the opportunity that you have. What if right now you didn't know, but you were going to have to leave wherever you are in 6 months from now, right? And what would you want to see in your area that you always are putting off? Like, oh, I wish I went to go do that. I wish I went to go do that. That can happen so often. There's so many times in our life. I know that we look like steady, stable now because we were there for 18 years. But there were so many seasons in our life that we lived someplace and then all of a sudden had to move. You never know. Life is never, your journey is never guaranteed. So take advantage of the day that you have now. I did bring gloves. I should have worn them. So yeah, this actually looks like the tavern. The cool thing is this time of year that there is apparently no one around. And it's gorgeous. Oh, there's another building over there. Huh. Oh well, we can look at both of them and see what they're... This is a gorgeous house. Oh goodness. Or whatever it is, tavern house. I'm not sure, but it is gorgeous.
Oh, it's in construction.
Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness. Let's look at this. What is this house? Can you just picture this house like in the Revolutionary War time? I could. Like there probably would have been a house like this would have been like on a street, but it would have also had like maybe a couple animals. No sign except for a sign with a horse on it. I'm sure if we look on the map we can figure out what house this is. Let's see. That is really interesting. You could have an animal in something like that. I know, I was just thinking that. You could definitely have an animal there. Look at that. So I've since looked up and discovered that they family ended up raising 9 children in this house and then later applied for a license to make this into an inn as well. Here. We just passed Joe Brooks' house, but it was blocked off. I probably could have pulled over, but there was just a lot of people behind me, so I didn't really do that.
Turn right onto Lexington Road.
Yeah, I still have my navigation on. Oh, okay. Take a picture. Samuel Brooks' house. Samuel Brooks was a veteran to the war in 1775. But I don't understand that because there's like a parking lot that goes over here. Okay, I'll head back to the car. So sorry if I'm like walking on your property, whoever lives here, but there's actually like a little path that goes here. Like I'm walking on a little path. See, it goes to it from the national park thing. So I'm thinking it's a private residence, just saying that they don't have tours and stuff inside of it. That's what I'm assuming, because why would there be a path? But if I just went on somebody's property and there was like the sign out in front of it, I don't know. I think I was okay. Anyway, the driveway was open, everything. It's not like that was blocked either. But that is the house there. The house is absolutely huge. I think it's like the house and then the house and then like it goes over to the barn there. Wow. That's Elisha Jones' house. There's actually so many famous houses around here. It's like you want to like pull over. We're not on a time crunch, but sometimes I'm just like going by and it's like, oh, stop. A lot of them say private residence, but then they have a sign out in front of the house. So I just kind of slowed down and tried to take a picture on some of the houses. So let's see. The Robbins House. So this is the Robbins House here. The Robbins House, Concord's African American history. This 1823 farmhouse was home to the first free generations of the Robbins family and their relatives who farmed, worked, went to school, supported anti-slavery efforts, and followed their own paths to independence. Hear how those paths connected to local, state, and national milestones in American history. Let's go see. The Robbins House, number 1. Bench by the road. Bench by the road. There's no place you and I can go to think about or not to think about, to summon the presence of or to recollect the absence of slaves. Nothing that reminds us of the ones who made the journeys and of those who did not make it. There is no suitable memorial or a plaque or a wreath or a wall or a park or skyscraper lobby. There is no 300-foot tower. There's no bench by the road. This bench is placed in memory of Caesar Robbins, who rose from enslavement to become a Revolutionary War veteran, one of the early African American homeowners in Concord, Massachusetts. For nearly 100 years, members of the Robbins family and their descendants lived in the house and made it a safe haven for abolitionists and for Africans who escaped from slavery in the South and sought freedom from their way north to Canada. The house is a reminder of the resilience and fortitude that Caesar Robbins and of how the collective action of Concord citizens helped in efforts to abolish slavery in the United States. I love that. I love that that's included in this. Yeah. Can you just imagine there's something amazing stepping in the footprints of your ancestors, of history, You can read about slavery in a book, but like to be standing here, people who walked this road, people who lived in this house were amazing. People who walked these roads to fight a battle for what they believed in were amazing. I don't know. It's really special. The Cuban plantation bell and its journey. The Cuban plantation bell was made in 1832 in Trinidad, Cuba. Its specific location, nearly a century unknown, but in 1926 it was gifted to Belmont Hill School by Trinidad Sugar Company. The president was father of the founding incorporator of Belmont Hill School. And the bell. Let's see what house this is. Old manse.
There's a statue. And there's a bridge, Ron. There's the bridge. Let's go to the bridge.
Go to the bridge. You're right. Shot and heard around the world. At North Bridge, colonial militia were ordered to fire on the king's troops for the first time. Turn the handle to the right to hear about it. They got it to work. Here, on the 19th of April, 1775, was made the first forcible resistance to the British aggression. On the opposite bank stood the American militia. Here stood the invading army. On this spot, the first of the enemy fell in the War of Revolution, which gave independence to the United States. In gratitude to God and in the loving freedom of this monument erected, 1886. Here's the grave of British soldiers. They came 3,000 miles and died to keep the past upon its throne, unheard beyond the ocean tide. Their English mother made her mourn. This is North Bridge. Stop there for a minute. I'll take your picture. There's something just incredibly amazing to be able to take your children in the path of other people that lived generations ago that made such an impact on our history. So to be able to stand here at Old North Bridge when that's where the first shots were fired, and just to explain like what they were standing for and applying that to our lives today. And it's just incredible. If you have not done this as a homeschooling family, I highly encourage, shut the books, put them to the side, and just take some time to be a tourist in your own area, be a tourist where you live, and enjoy yourself. By the rude bridge that arched the flood, their flag to April's breeze unfurled. Here once the embattled farmer stood and fired the shot heard round the world.
I'm trying to get the man here. I need you to back up your head coloring.
You know where we're going?
I don't know.
Okay, come here. On April 19th, 1775, fighting between colonists and British soldiers ignite the American Revolution. On that day, the house across the street, today known as the Wayside, was owned by Samuel Whitney, muster master of Concord militia. During 1800s, the house was the home to the authors Nathaniel Hawthorne and Louisa May Alcott, who were at the center of developing a cultural identity for a new independent nation. So if you guys don't know, Louisa May Alcott is actually the author of Little Women, and so we are going to go to that house. It's a story that was based on her life. So we are heading to her house. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. I'm hoping there's a bathroom here. We've gone to so many different sites and all the bathrooms have been closed, and we have not driven by like a gas station or anything as of yet. So I'm hoping, if not, yeah. Anyone ever feel like that? It's like, where is the next restroom? I don't think that I can video inside of the museum itself, so I'm just sharing with you what I can here. It kind of looks like the house actually on Little Women. If you've ever seen that, we love watching Little Women. Usually we watch it right after Thanksgiving on that same day, or maybe the day after. This is called Orchard House. So here's the front of the house here. It's actually very beautiful, and it reminds me of the movie itself. I think they did a good job like recreating the house itself for the movie. I know that some of the movie different ones have been actually filmed here. I'm just not sure which is which. I am going to share below some videos. So here they go and have a video that talks all about the Alcott family and the house itself. So we sat there for, I think it was about 15 minute video that talks about that. Someone else is coming. So you may guess it, or may have guessed it, I am sitting here pumping while I tell you all about Louisa May Alcott's house. I asked the girls to actually bring my speaker down from our main house, and they brought the wrong speaker, so it's the one that doesn't hook into my phone. I might just end up purchasing one so I don't feel like I'm yelling, because I'm trying to be quiet and mindful of other people in the hospital. So I don't want to be like yelling outside. Somebody's trying to make a phone call right now. I don't want to like, or like other people's stuff. Like I don't want to irritate people, right? Like I just want to, I can talk to you guys like in a normal voice. I can't be using my big voice, my big girl voice. Anyhow, so I was really actually loving the house, because I was just thinking, in case you do not know, Little Women is actually based on a true story. It is based on her true life story. She did change some things around in the book, but it was just delightful to hear the whole story. I loved her dad. I'm gonna leave, actually, down in the description box below, I will leave a link to the recording of Little Women, like the audiobook, and I also will leave a link to just kind of like a historical background as far as she goes, because it really was awesome. Yeah, he was just a man who believed in letting his daughters be who they were meant to be. So even though in a period of time that it wasn't common, he thought that it was important to have children go outside, and he actually was one of the first people to implement recess for the public school children. He believed that children, both boys and girls, should be going outside daily. So his girls went outside. He also, his daughter was a writer and wrote some poetry, and then he actually built her a desk, which would have been totally unheard of. And then later on, he built an art studio for his other daughter. And his other daughter actually was the teacher to the person who, I know you guys have all seen this. It's a carving of Lincoln and President Abraham Lincoln. It's a carving, and he's sitting in the chair, and his arms are kind of like draped over like this in the chair. He actually carved that, and the teacher to the person who carved that is Louisa's sister. Kind of cool, huh? So for me, I don't know all the ins and outs, but it has intrigued me all about this family. They're also abolitionists. They had this huge movement. They're really good friends with like Nathaniel Hawthorne. So yeah, it's really piqued interest in lots of different areas. So a little field trip can equal like this big research arena, and that's kind of what this field trip did. So I will link those down below. I could not video inside the house. They asked for no videos. I'm going to respect that. But there is videos out there that are like from the house itself. So I will link that so you guys can look at that if you would like to.